Let's look at this example here where we have a commerce solution that includes a cart, for instance, for a shopping cart. The shopping cart has a list of items. Each item is of type order item. If we look at order item, we'll see that it simply represents an item that one might place in the cart, which has a quantity and a stock keeping unit or SKU associated with it. The cart has this important method called total amount that is used to determine what the total price of all the items in the cart should be. And because this is a pricing calculator example, you can imagine that there are different types of rules that determine how various order items within that cart are totaled up to reach their final total amount that the cart represents. In order to make this easy for a demo, we've simply stated that the SKU is what determines the rule. And so if the SKU starts with the word each, then that item is going to be exactly $5 times the quantity. So we see the rule is simply order item quantity times 5. However, if it is rather the weight, then we're going to take the price as a unit price per kilogram. And so we'll take the order item quantity, which we've decided for some reason is in grams, and we're going to say that it's $4 per kilogram. Finally, we have this concept of special as a third rule for the SKU. Special items only cost 40 cents a piece. However, they are 3 for $1. So what that means is if you buy one, it's 40 cents. You buy two, it's 80 cents. You buy three, it's $1. And the way this has been implemented is to simply provide a discount of 20 cents for each set of three that comes along. Now you can imagine that these rules have been come up with by the business user, the owner, whoever it is that is trying to maximize the sales of this particular store. And we know at this point that there are more rules coming. So this is a valid time for us to be looking at this and thinking, how can we change this code in such a way that we don't have to go in and edit this particular method every time someone comes up with a different way to price the items that are in the cart? Now, it's important, too, before we make any changes to this sort of code, that we look at some of the tests that are applied to it. And, of course, before we do any refactoring, ideally we would have tests that represent the current state of this code. And so we have over here a unit test class that we can run that will verify that this is doing what we expect. So let's go ahead and run the test, and we'll see that they all pass. And so this is telling us that the cart total should return 80 cents with 2 special items, 2 with a half a kilo weight item, $2 with 6 special items, 5 with 1 each item, and 0 when empty, and all of these pass. And you can, if you look through each one of these tests, you'll see that they're very straightforward. We have a cart that's set up at the class level and is newed up before each test in our setup method. And then our first method simply says that our cart is 0 when it's empty. So when it first starts, we haven't added anything to it, and we assert that it has a value of 0. If we add an each widget with a quantity of 1, we expect it to cost a total of 5. If we add some peanuts that are valued by weight with 500 grams, we expect that that's going to be 4 times half a kilo is 2, so we end up with $2. We expect 80 cents if we buy 2 of the special candy bars, and that's what we get here. And we expect it to be, with the total of 6 of them, that's 3 for $1. 2 3 for $1 makes $2, so we expect to get $2 in that case. Now, if we think about how we would add additional rules to our cart for additional items here, where, for instance, maybe it's buy 4 get 1 free or something like that. Now we have to add yet another else if to our block here in order to achieve that kind of a rule. And very quickly this type of thing gets out of hand. And so we'd really like to apply the open close principle at this point to make it so our cart is much more flexible and maintainable and does not need to have surgery performed on it every time someone comes up with a new pricing rule within our model.